Welcome back to Have Another with Espo. It's Whiskey Wednesday, and we're doing stupid internet things. That's right. We saw it. Other places are doing it. We're not above copying. It is the 5 bottles that you need on your bar. The only 5 bottles of bourbon that you need on your bar. Except we don't follow instructions, and we're going to do 10 bottles, because instead of just doing bourbon like it said, we're going to do bourbon and then an Irish and Scotch mix for comparisons. I'd rather do Canadian, too, if I really want to do 15. That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot. I don't want to do a lot. Just a lot is fine. I've got a little High West in the glass right now, which is not on the list. It should be, but I'm stupid and have too many things. Delicious. A little spicier than I remember. Oh, it's so good, though. Starts off. It was a Reddit post, I guess. It was the 5 bottles of bourbon that every bar needs, or that you need for your bar. The only 5 bottles you need. The Daily Drinker, the Impress Your Friends, the Cheap Mixer, Something Great, and Something Special. Something Special. There we go. Missed my thumb on that one. That was a little sad face. I think it translates past bourbon very easily. So we're going to do that a little bit, especially for those of you who aren't really bourbon drinkers. Gives a little bit of a highlight into the Scotch level that I'm at. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, the Daily Drinker. Let's start off with that. I don't drink daily, despite what my mother thinks. And despite the fact I have a YouTube drinking channel, that makes a lot of sense. I know you're not believing me, but I don't. I very much don't. It's a couple days a week. I really try not to drink every day, actually. It's really quite helpful that way. But if you're the type to unwind with a cocktail at the end of the day, or with just a glass of spirit at the end of the day, your Daily Drinker should be affordable, achievable, available, and awesome. It's the 4 A's. Works out really well. I don't know what achievable is. It just kind of got in there. I have it mixed in as Buffalo Trace. That is my Daily Drinker for choice. If I'm just going to pour some or possibly make a quick cocktail, it's typically Buffalo Trace. It's fairly easy to find here anyway. It's fairly easy to find. Not every size of bottle is easy to find, oddly enough. But it's not super expensive. It's really tasty. It's nice and relaxing. It's still a nice little treat, but it's not the fanciest thing on the bar. But I'm not feeling like I'm letting myself down. It is the equivalent, I'd say, and this might get a little opinion-wise, it's the equivalent. Your Daily Drinker is Johnny Red. It's perfectly fine. It's tasty. It gets the job done. If you're feeling like a quick Scotch, you had a long day and you're like, I could use a couple fingers of Scotch. Johnny Red, right there for you. Beautiful. Look at that, handsome dudes walking across the way. It's a good bottle. There's nothing wrong with it, and you can get a massive 1 liter bottle, 1.14, and it just fits in with the rest of your bar ever so nicely. Canadian whiskey, I don't even know. My Daily Drinker used to be Canadian Club Small Batch. It was tasty. It was a good mixer. Really, really nutty, caramely. Yeah. That probably didn't sound good. That's our Daily Drinker. I'm going to leave the bourbon on the bar, and the Scotch is going to go back in the wall. Or the Irish. Well, there's going to be a lot of Irish on this one. Don't have a lot of Scotch right now. The Impress Your Friends. It should be somewhat fancy. Somewhat rare. Like, it's slightly harder to find. Like, maybe you had to put a little work into it. Very enjoyable. Pricey, but not too pricey. You don't want to be breaking the bank on this one. You do want to be able to show it off to whoever you're showing it off to. And who knows? Maybe it's just a cool looking bottle. Maybe it's just a bib and tucker. Just something that looks cool. You can put on your bar, and hey, there it is. The Impress Your Friends bottle. For me, it's as far as the Scotch goes, it's not going to be Scotch on this one. It's going to be Irish. It's this one, Rowan Co. I know I did bourbon first last time. For me, not too many people know about it. I like pushing it a bit. Everyone I've given some to loves it, and it sticks out as a very friendly bottle. It's not the cheapest. I usually get it when it's on sale though, so it's not terrible. It's not too crazy pricey. and it's a nice little treat. It's something fun to show off. I equate that a little bit to, or in that range anyway, Four Roses single barrel. I'm sure there's some people losing their damn minds on this one just because, I don't know, it's probably hard to find some places. It's usually in our liquor store. LCBO near us carries it all the time. And that's tasty. So that's, get these out of the way, I think. Pop those down. It's nice. It's not crazy expensive. I think this goes for about $52. It's right in the same range as the small batch, but the single barrel it's just far and away delicious. And also, cool bottle. Check that cork. Awesome cork. Who doesn't love a good cork? Row and Co back in its spot. Oh, the cheap mixer. The cheap mixer. That's what you want to hear, isn't it? Canadian whiskey on that one. The Impress Your Friends. I don't know. Probably Rifle Rye. It's more rye than just Canadian whiskey. It's probably right there. Might be the Crown Northern Harvest. Hard to say. Hard to impress your friends with Canadian whiskey sometimes. Who knows? All right. Anyway, the cheap mixer. This is the one your friend's coming over, doesn't particularly care whether they're drinking whiskey or vodka. Maybe they like whiskey, maybe they don't. Who really knows? It's something that's there. It's affordable because maybe you're going to dummy a bottle that night. You're not going to be too worried about it. It still has to taste a little bit good. For me, as far as that goes, as far as Scotch goes anyway, that is not Scotch again. That's going to be the Irish whiskey. Bushmills. Again, it's not a super cheap one. But it's not expensive either. It's a great mixer. Goes awesome in a cocktail. I don't really care if we go through a bottle of it. If we're having a good time, that's how we're doing. It's a good go. This is probably the Crown Royal or the Wisers as far as Canadian goes. For bourbon, used to be Bullet, but that's not really all that cheap. Four Roses straight whiskey or straight bourbon. Delicious. Nothing wrong with it. Noticing a trend right here, but that's going to go away in a hurry. Would have been real cool if I had brought out the small batch for this one, but no, it's not what happened. Although the small batch is really good. But yeah, the Four Roses, Kentucky straight bourbon, 80 proof, nothing crazy. It's fine in a cocktail. It's only about $30 for a bottle. It's not crazy that way. If you're mixing with it, it's absolutely fine. You can totally put it over ice and it's fine too. Mellow corn might take over in that spot though. I just tried that the other day, a couple weeks back, and it was right in that range. But it's harder to find. And it's also not really bourbon, so I don't think it really fits the spirit of this exercise. Yeah. Well, we're 3 bottles in, 6 bottles in, 9 bottles in. We're in a bunch of bottles in. Back in you go there, Bushmills. You did a great job. Next up, something great. This is a bottle that you love. It would be your everyday bottle if you could afford it, or if you could find it, or if it wasn't so rare. Whatever the case, it's a step above. It's a treat. It is the absolutely. It's the treat yourself whiskey. It is the one that you're sitting there going, "This is awesome. I had a great day. I'd like to celebrate a little bit." Whatever. I got 3 pars today. That's fantastic. Because I'm a terrible golfer, and you know what's up. I didn't lose any balls today. Something like that. I had a great day at work. I had a great week at work. Whatever. Something you're celebrating a little bit. It's nothing too fancy, but it's a little bit of a treat. A little bit of something special. Why not? For me, that is Glen. Well, at least on the Scotch side, that is Glenlivet single malt French oak 15-year. It's a little bit on the pricier side. It's about I think it's just over $100 now. Could be wrong on that one. I don't really know. When I started drinking this one, it used to be a much cheaper option. It was really only, I think it used to be about 70. It was awesome then. It was great. Now it's much more of a stretch. I like keeping an extra bottle on, so I'm usually about a bottle and a half of this. It's tasty. It's a perfectly fine scotch. I don't mind. I'm not scared to pour it in front of someone else. It holds up with whatever you're drinking, as long as it's not a $500 bottle. It's perfectly fine, perfectly delicious, little treat. I try to keep it that way. But again, one of my favorites. As far as bourbon goes, said it before, I think I'm in love. Peerless Single Barrel. It's a little bit too pricey. It's a little bit too hard to find. I can't find it in this province. I brought it in from Alberta. It's delicious. It might be my new favorite. Good Lord, it would absolutely be my daily drinker if I could afford it. But I've got extra bottles just in case because I don't want to run out of this. Spectacular. Absolutely delicious. One of my favorites. Hard to be upset about it. And I'm losing space on the bar. That's great. I've been showing off with it a little bit lately just because I have a couple extra bottles and I want to get people into it. And I'm hoping it gets to the point where it becomes a little bit more popular around here so that it is sold around here. It's not. It's very much not. Never seen it. I've only, up until recently, I'd only ever heard of it online. I was dying to try it, and it blew every expectation I had out of the water. Absolutely fantastic. Love every second of it. I'll do a video on it later. I'm not going to do that now. Also, 115 proof. Does not. It smells a lot harsher than it is. It goes down way smoother than the 115 proof. It's fantastic. Okay, now for something special. Canadian. Do I have a Canadian one for this one? Probably the 40 Creek Victory. I think that's about right. Yeah, one of these ones. One of the Centennial ones, maybe. 40 Creek 40-year anniversary. I think that's probably it. Oh, and the Impress Your Friends. It's Sazerac Rye. That's going to be it. It's not a Canadian, but it's a rye. It's delicious. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where that is. Okay. That might also be the something special. I'm not sure. It's still in the box. Who's to say? Anyway, something special. On to something special. I have a couple options for both. Because again, I can't decide. Ever. Absolutely ever. That's why there's all of this nonsense. It's too much. It's entirely too much. And I can never decide. As far as scotches go, we have... Where is it? It's around here somewhere. I've got a Highland Park 12 that I've been holding on to. And I don't know what to make of it. So I feel like this kind of fits the bill. It's something I'm a little bit scared to open because I don't want to know how good it is. This is just a 350 ml. It was a special. It was a stocking stuffer, I think, from my mother. It's absolutely delightful that way. Wonderful woman. She does good things. 12-year-old Viking Scotch. No idea what it tastes like, but it looks cool. Very cool looking bottle, I think. Actually, haven't opened this box. Have I opened this box? Very cool looking bottle. Apparently it was backwards. It's a 12-year. It's beautiful. Again, a little bit scared to open it. There's also a taster pack. Got a itty bitty amount of Johnny Blue. Saving that for a special occasion, but that's a different kind of special occasion. And the real answer for the Scotch side, it's not actually Scotch again. It's the first for realsy bottle of whiskey I ever got. My cousin Jeff got it for me for a Christmas exchange to get me into drinking slightly fancier whiskey because he knew I liked drinking whiskey, but not sipping whiskey. And it is Connemara Irish Single Malt Peated. I don't know where to find it. I have like this much left. I'm absolutely scared to open it. It is 100% a special occasion. This is a engagement toast. This is something out of the blue, something crazy. That's what I'm saving this for. Just again, that kind of party where you're toasting a real victory. That's where these bottles come in. true to form, have the same issue on the bourbon side. This used to be Blanton's. It was a nice, easy answer. It was Blanton's. You can't find the damn thing. I had a bottle forever. It was a centerpiece on this thing. I now have 2 bottles because I found we found an allocated drop in Ontario, and we got out there in time. Managed to get a bottle for me and for my boy Ian. This one's been sitting on the bar since it's almost 10 years now, and it's almost at the point where it needs to be finished. And I don't want that to be the case because I love this bottle so much. I've got another bottle in the back. It's right there. It's there. It's another one. I'm scared to drink it because I don't want to yet. I want to save it for a time when I'm really going to enjoy it, where I'm in the mindset where we won something, and I want to enjoy it doing that. Just sit back and take a couple sips that way. On the same vein of not knowing yet, it's the Booker's. I don't know what the hell I'm getting into, but it's fancy as all hell, and it was expensive, and I'm probably not going to buy another bottle, but it's here and it's full, and I'm scared to crack it because I don't know how much I'm going to like it, and I'm scared I'm going to like it too much. Sounds like me, right? We'll leave that down here for now. That's my 5 bottles. This is the 5 bottles you need. It's probably out of order. I should probably switch these 2 because this is actually probably easier to find than this right now. This is more available, but I have more likelihood of going to a store and finding this. This I'd have to order it again, which zero problem doing. Again, absolute favorite bottle right now. There we have it. Our daily drinker, our impress your friends, the cheap mixer. Not even that cheap. Wow. Still a pretty good whiskey. The something great and the something special. Something amazing. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got into my psyche a little bit on that one, I guess. I don't know. He showed you some colors. Showed you some taste on my end anyway. Showed you my taste, not some taste. That's the English I'm looking for. Maybe it gives you a little insight into what my whiskey tastes are like. I don't know if it's going to or not. We'll find out. Yeah, if you like this one, let me know. Throw me a like, subscribe, do the things. Put your 5 in there. Get in the comments. Throw me your 5. Maybe you don't have your 5. Maybe you're working on your 5. These are my 5. And then my 6. My 15. I did a bunch. We'll get to it. Anyway, thanks for coming by. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Do me a huge favor doing that. Hopefully you learned something. Cheers.